It's recording.
We all have different worries, and the last thing we should be adding to our worry list is making payments. That is why QuickTeller, fast, easy, and secure payments app, gives us one less thing to worry about when it comes to making everyday payments. With QuickTeller, you can easily pay your cable, internet, electricity, and even tollgate bills. You can buy airtime and transfer money to virtually anyone. So whatever life throws at you, rest easy knowing everyday payments won't be any trouble. Download the app today. Dial *322# or visit www.quickteller.com and begin to enjoy life with one less thing to worry about.
Love music. Love life.
So, I stepped into the office today, and the first thing I hear is...
Oh, wow, you look really stylish today. Where'd you get your look?
This whole thing? From Zara, Next, Amazon, Macy's, Fenty Beauty, Victoria's Secret.
Wait, what?
Zara, Next, Amazon, Macy's.
Introducing QuickTeller Global Mall. Now you can shop from over 100 international mall stores. Pay in Naira and have your items shipped in the doorstep.
Ready?
Globalmall.quickteller.com to start shopping. QuickTeller. Everyday payments made easy.
With critical focus on the Nigerian economy, we see the bigger picture. Business Express on
Thanks for up. Studios Live.
98.1.
Hey Lagos, what's going on? Good morning. Glad to know that you join us here on Smooth 98.1. I promise you, you'll not regret it. Today's Friday, so it's the Tech Friday edition of Business Express.
The last one of 2018.
Yay!
Yeah, it's the last one. This is it. Yeah, it's over. This is our last show for 2018.
Yo,
yeah, man.
you just subtly said something very profound.
By this time next year, it will be a new Tech Friday.
Wow. Okay, that's how it goes, eh?
Yes, bro.
Lagos, please join this wonderful conversation on WhatsApp. You can send messages through to 0809-444-0981. That's 0809-444-0981. You can also send messages through to Twitter at Smooth91FM. Use the hashtag for every message. Use hashtag Business Express 981. And Rotus is here.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Good morning, Valentine. Good morning, Lagos. And we have Taiwo with us. Taiwo, good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Please, Taiwo, everybody should ask Taiwo where Fisayo is.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel
Are you Fisayo's keeper?
he hid him somewhere.
I'm my brother's keeper.
All right. The market yesterday, it was down by 0.9%. 31,692 points is where we closed. We won't dwell too much in the market. The market is going to end negative because Monday is the last day of trading. So we're down by 17.1% so far. Depending on where trading closes today and Monday, we'll see. But unfortunately, that's where the stock market is closing. So, Taiwo, let's start off with business day piece. They were talking about views. They were asking fintech players about views on where the fintech space is going in 2019. But I also wanted to spread this discussion. And please, Lagos, those listening, what are you expecting as far as tech, fintech, and so on next year in 2019? For example, I want this WhatsApp payment thing to happen. I want to transfer money to somebody on WhatsApp. I want to see if I don't know if it will happen in 2019. But Taiwo, there are a number of players that Business Day spoke to, asking them their thoughts on what they expected in the fintech space in 2019. Well, what are your thoughts? What do you think of what some of the thoughts that were shared here? Some are saying they expect more regulation. They expect more foreign investment to come in. It was generally optimistic as far as next year is concerned. Where do you stand?
I agree. I think that it's just going to scale, just keep growing in that sense that the questions are around regulation. So what kind of regulations are we going to see next year? We saw the ones we saw later this year, which targeted fintechs. So anybody getting into that space, that just becomes much more difficult for them. So I think the guys who are already in there are just going to sit more. What do you call it? They're going to either find ways to establish themselves. Okay. In that sense, that more importantly, also one of the report you sent last night as well, said that Nigeria got about 75% of the $114 million investment that was made in Nigeria. I think over 500 and something million across Africa. Okay. About $114 million or so thereabout came to Nigeria. About 75% of that went to fintech, I think. So. It's also quite instructive that it's the direction in which a lot of people are going in. I think the banks are trying to redefine themselves, trying to prepare for the inevitable.
The payment service banks, and all that.
Yeah, even the commercial, the deposit banks and the commercial banks themselves, because I mean, I think there are going to be more consolidations. I don't know, so I think they're preparing for it in that sense. The size of their customer base is not really going to help anymore because the brick and mortar system is not.
It's expensive.
It's expensive
to host a branch.
So they're looking for alternative ways and so on and so forth there. With the WhatsApp payments, I think it's easy for them to implement it. I think it's just trying to see what in cross-border regulations across various countries would allow, and see where they're willing to pilot it in itself. So I don't know yet in terms of what and how that would be when it comes online. Nevertheless, I think that we'll be net losers as Nigeria, because I'm not sure how all that payments is, where it's going to go, and where all that is going to be domiciled, who's going to make all the, so WhatsApp's just going to sit there. This is massive engine that is aggregating or processing all these transactions in the end, and what's going to be left for our local players or local participants. And if it scales, then it's just game over for a lot of people that have also invested money in that sense. So I wouldn't be too keen to see that come online. I think we also need to be more proactive. Maybe let's start seeing fintech solutions for healthcare. Let's start seeing fintech solutions for education. Let's start seeing fintech solutions
but do you think
for agriculture.
You think those? Okay, thank you. Healthcare, agriculture, so on. You think we're going to see more of that next year, though?
I'm hoping.
Okay, so
I'm not sure.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm hoping because so I think we have breadth, is depth we don't have,
right.
which is one of the challenges that we face here. So I think the fintech space is a little crowded. I also think that we don't necessarily have the right infrastructure to be able to support it, to be honest. So a lot of failed payments. I mean, someone's tried to send me money since yesterday.
Hasn't gone through.
No.
Wow.
We talked on Christmas.
I just don't understand it.
Yeah, Christmas Eve. We're talking about this with Follow about NIBS. They sent out a report Christmas Eve about 25% of all, or 1 million transactions that happen on Christmas Eve failed. So the failure rate is still high for payments. So that's still something to look out for in the year. Let me quote a couple people here. We can't talk about next year without talking about cryptocurrencies. Olaoluwa Samuel B., director at Sure Group, a fintech company that secured some funding for an initial coin offering, believes that 2019 is the year of cryptocurrencies. Also, Sherif Olujude, CEO of Crypto Brokerage, a cryptocurrency aggregation platform, says that he took the opposite side. He said that 2019 will be tougher for cryptocurrencies compared to 2018. Where are you? Are you on the fence? Or whose side are you? Do you think Olua Samuel is correct that 2019 is the year of cryptocurrencies, or Sherif is saying that no, it's going to be rougher for them?
It will deepen its roots, but I'm not sure whether it will be fully accepted mainstream. Again, when we have regulators, particularly in this part of the world, who are still struggling still trying to grapple with what it means, even what fintech means in itself, so you want to throw them. I mean, you're going to just confuse them further by throwing the whole cryptocurrency bit of it there. But I think on the dark web, it will still deepen its roots. People will explore more with it in itself there. And I think locally as well, I think people will do that. There's just a cost of deploying some of the solutions, those cryptocurrencies and solutions and the platforms. All of them are run based on blockchain technology.
Right.
The cost of mining, let's even say bitcoins or any of those things, the cost of mining those things are not cheap, power or any of those things. So ultimately, I don't see how we get really in the game if we're not playing at that level. If we're just playing as resellers or downstream operators for those assets. So.
All right, so this is another interesting pick here. Philips Consulting releases 2019 calendar for digital tech learning. The only reason why I picked this story is because YJ's picture is here. If you follow Freshly Pressed, those of you that listen, I think YJ is coming in because I thought YG, excuse me,
Yes.
I thought YG was. Honestly, I didn't really know what. I thought he was working for another other lifestyle company that sends emails and stuff. But here's YG's picture with apparently he's with Philips Consulting. He's in business day. If any of you want to take a look, he's smiling there, towering over these two other.
He's going to be around today.
I'm going to ask him. But so apparently they are a consulting firm. Taiwo. They're digital calendar for tech learning. It looks like they want to assist companies in learning a lot more about technology. They said YJ himself was quoted in the article saying that you know, with where things are going in technology, companies need to upskill their employees, and so that's where they're coming in. But you were saying before we went on air that you're familiar with this company, yeah?
Yeah, Philips Consulting is one of the foremost indigenous consulting firms. I mean, they've been here for a long time now, maybe about 20, 25 years, or I don't know, thereabouts.
Right.
So they've been here for a while. So, yeah. So, and they're good with training. One of the things that they do is to facilitate trainings for corporate organizations and stuff. So it's something that they're well versed with. They also did this report about this web report on by industries. I think especially in the banking sector. I remember when I was in the bank, we used to watch out for their report where they analyze and give reports based on the websites for various organizations, and that's how I drew that there. I think it's just training around technology,
focusing on that.
And all of that. Yeah.
All right, good. Wajid, I'm going to quiz you when you come into the studio today. He's coming in, Valentine, for Freshly Pressed. Yeah. All right, Taxify is expanding into Benin. This is they're moving on, Taiwo. I mean, the last I checked, I remember. Okay, so they started out in Lagos, of course, Abuja. They moved out east, right? Can't remember which state it was. They moved out east. I think maybe it was Enugu or so. But now they're in Benin, so they're, you know, and they did it during the festive period, which is very, very busy. Your thoughts? It looks like they're slowly inching their way across Nigeria.
I think they've taken they've bitten the bullet a little bit, as in, so they decided to take the bold step, whereas other players are a bit skeptical about other markets, you know, i.e. because of things like data, connectivity issues, even to seeing whether there's enough market in those places to be able to do it like that there.
Okay.
But I think Taxify is onto something by being able to do this. Even if they don't succeed here, I think they'll have gathered enough data to be able to support or to be able to see how they can, you know, whether make adjustments, enhancements, you know, to their service in itself. Lagos as a market, though big enough, is not though big or large, is not enough for them to, you know, in my opinion, just to stay alive, you know, in this market. So if they expand into other parts of the country, it'll be good. I'd like to see some kind of localization service or native offerings in those places, things that are probably peculiar to them. I don't know what kind of flexibility they have in that regard, but I think it's good news.
Oh, okay. Yinka, Yinka, what are you saying here? It says fintech. What's he talking about? His fintech prediction.
Oh yeah, 2019 fintech prediction. The bankers committee will try to push Daddy, that's CBN, to stifle the fintechs, which they will initially do, then come to their senses. Later, they come for peace talks, and at the back, the banks will try to step their game up while the peace talks are on. But in the end, they will get their fingers burned because they won't pass money.
Yinka is not very optimistic. No, okay. Well, who else is out there? I think Olatunji
sends a message from Apapa and Achegunle. He says, excuse me, rumor has it that Facebook will soon be launching its own form of digital currency. Please, how true is this, and what disruption will this pop up? And the second question, why is there so much conspiracy against cryptos? Even Wall Street is stylishly opting out.
Well, we talked about, I think it was 2 weeks ago, but yeah. Facebook is it's
true, yeah, but through WhatsApp,
legs. Yeah, through WhatsApp,
it has some legs, that's
it does. As far as cryptos, look, it's lost a lot of money, so it's the investment side. That's what the backlash against it is.
Well, you might be surprised, but then Frank from Satellite sent in this one, says, good morning guys, I know Zenith Bank has a QWERTY banking system where customers can make payments directly from their WhatsApp.
Okay, well, I didn't hear about that one. I'll look it up. Thanks for that message, Taiwo. Thank you for joining us on our final, show of 2018, and thank you all for your messages as well.
So emotional.
We'll see you on.
We'll
see you next year.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Exactly. Hopefully we'll have to sign on next year.
Maybe he's held up in traffic.
Who knows?
Yeah. Lagos, we've got great music coming up next. That's from MI, from Clay, from Asha. But first, from Bob Marley, it's Smooth Breakfast. Good morning.
Business Express.